Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video, and apologies that this is so delayed, but honestly we've got like a 2-hour CM Punk interview to try and talk about, a 2-hour Bray Wyatt documentary to talk about, a 3-hour Raw to try and talk about. There's Rhea interviews, there's still bits of Roman news, obviously lots of updates, lots of things going on, lots of other announcements. This is probably the most stacked we've ever had an unseen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fly through it all, right? There's really not going to be much time to stop on anything, so I'm telling you now, right? And we're just going to go. So this is the WrestleMania folder, and just a really cool shot of WrestleMania 17 before the show started. So that from Alan Cheap Shot. And Harry, thank you. Harry again just pointing out that if we actually look, this is from Boosh, if we actually look at the graphics, we can see that they have kind of predicted what the screens and the staging was going to be for the last couple of years. Like the actual layout of WrestleMania 39 was very, very close to what the stage was. And then if you look at the graphics for WrestleMania 40, again, very, very close to the stage that we actually got. And we know that that design that's doing the rounds from Coast to Coast Designs, they based it on this, which explains why they got so close to this. So, yeah, I just thought that was very interesting observation. It means that when we see the graphics for next year, we need to pay really close attention because it could indicate what the stage is going to look like. Right, big WrestleMania announcement, James, thank you. The Philly street fight, this was announced on Raw as well. So the Philly street fight is done. It's announced. We are getting Final Testament taking on Bobby and the Street Profits. Philadelphia street fight at WrestleMania. If I've got to pick a winner, I don't know. I think I'm leaning Final Testament. I think Bobby and the Street Profits, they just don't feel like they've clicked to me. They really don't feel like they've clicked still. And I'm probably a bit more intrigued by the Final Testament, so I'll go with them. Right, talking of Final Testament, we've actually got a promo here. It's pretty standard stuff. It's very good. It's very interesting from Karrion Kross, but a bit more of the same. It goes for like 3 minutes 44. He talks about Bobby. He talks about the street fight. It's his reaction to this news. So if you get a chance, this dropped about 6 hours ago, and it's fun watch, you know. I mean, it's kind of one of those where if we had more time we'd dig into it, but there doesn't feel like there's really anything, oh my god, urgent, you absolutely need to know about this. You just need to know it exists. So Karrion Kross dropping a promo 6 hours ago. Right, Raj Giri has got the list of matches. Let's whoosh this in. So the list of matches as to what's going to take place on what night. So night one, we've got Roman taking on Cody and Seth. We've got Rhea against Becky, Jay against Jimmy, Jade Cargill, Bianca and Naomi taking on Damage Control. We've got the 6-pack ladder match. We've got Gunther against Sammy. And we've got Ray and Dragon Lee taking on Dominic and Santos Escobar. Then on night 2, we've got Roman against Cody. We got Seth against Drew. We got Io against Bayley. We got Logan against Randy Orton against Kevin Owens. We've got LA Knight against AJ Styles. And we've got Bobby Lashley taking on the Final Testament, Bobby's group against the Final Testament. So those are the matches for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. So we've got a good idea now of what to expect, and apparently a mystery slot in there. There's going to be time for some kind of return or legends or some sort of segment. I'm not sure what day that's going on. But yeah, they keep talking about this mystery slot. I keep seeing people talking about that online. So, Chris, thank you for that. This is the latest image. Edward, thank you. The very latest image. This was 11 hours ago. Doesn't really look like anything's changed. Doesn't really look like we've made much progress. I've got to be honest, I think the stage looks okay, but I can't say I'm really losing my mind over it. Yeah, I mean, there are rumors that they cut the production budget by several $1 million. And looking at the stage, I can sort of believe it. But, you know, it's going to do the job. We're not watching for the stage. It's going to do what it needs to do, but I don't think this is going to go down as many people's favorite WrestleMania stages. Michael Cole confirms that Meek Mill will do the cold open for WrestleMania 40. So if you don't know what that is basically the start of the show. So it's when we first start, the first things that we see. That's known as the cold open. I think they might do it for the Super Bowl, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, we've done cold opens for quite a long time with WrestleMania, and Michael Cole confirming that Meek Mill is going to be doing the cold open this year. Right, Lia Maivia, again, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've still not heard it actually said, but she's going into the Hall of Fame. This was announced by The Rock. This is The Rock's grandmother. She took over the territory after The Rock's grandfather passed away. So she's regarded as a real pioneer, one of the first female promoters, one of the first female bookers. She's really seen as a female pioneer. So The Rock, I believe, is going to be inducting her. And this had been rumored that she was going to go in, but, you know, as of 7 hours ago, it is now official. Right, I'm done for Wheezy F, baby. So Bayley getting all excited at the fact that Lil Wayne is going to be at WrestleMania. Not only that, he's going to be performing. Apparently, he's got a new single that he's going to give a premiere showing or playing of. And yeah, a lot of excitement around that. I've seen a lot of people really excited. I've got to admit, it's not someone that's on my radar. I'm aware of Lil Wayne, but can't say that I'm an avid listener of Lil Wayne, which means I don't think I could name a single track. But cool. I mean, there's a lot of excitement, and, you know, if Bayley's up for it and excited, then I can be as well. And there we go. There is Lil Wayne. You never know who you might run into on the road to WrestleMania. Triple H and Lil Wayne. Michael Cole emphasized on commentary that the tag titles will be hung above the ring. The match continues until both sets of titles have been retrieved. And this is important because we spoke about this in the predictions video. All 4 belts are going to be hanging. Both sets of belts have got to be retrieved. I'm feeling real good that these titles are going to be separated and that we're going to get 2 teams winning. One team will get the red belts, one team will get the blue belts, and then we end up with 2 champions. Right, Rebecca said, thanks for giving me a target, mommy. I'm coming for your arm and the women's world title. Rhea Ripley said, you can effing try. This is because we found out that Rhea Ripley is wearing she's got a problem with her wrist at the moment, but she didn't go into details. So she's actually wearing like a removable cast at the moment. And here Becky Lynch saying thank you for giving me a target. It's almost reveal time. I included this as a reminder. I believe it's Thursday, I think 8 p.m. Eastern, is it? That we get the stage reveal. So it really is not that far away now. You know, we've only got a couple of days. So if you're expecting this to like drastically change, we've only got a couple of days to go. So I'm not sure it's going to. And then the last thing in this folder, on this day in 1990, the calm before the storm. Look at that image. Look at that image of WrestleMania 6 before anyone had entered. I don't know where Alan Cheapshot is getting these from, right? What I would love to get, I hope he's got like shots of WrestleManias before the crowd come in for all of them. I would love to see that. We've seen, I think, didn't we look at, was it 4 the other day? We saw one earlier, obviously, I think that was 17. We've seen 6. I'm going to have to check his Twitter account to see if he's got like a good chunk of them. I have never seen these images before. I have never seen them. So love these. So Alan Cheapshot, legend. Right, we need to look at all this. Oh my God, I feel sick. Let's go to special, shall we? So, Clash at the Castle is going to get announced as to where it is. Now, if you don't know the backstory, they said on Raw they're going to announce where Clash at the Castle is going to be coming from. And they showed this graphic. It's got blue and white, which is the colours of Scotland. And as has been pointed out, Edward, shout out to you. You can see that the dragon inside the sea is the same dragon on this Scottish flag. So Scotland is adamant that they are getting this, right? And so it's going to be announced that it will take place on Saturday, June 15th. The location will be announced tomorrow, which is today, right? But this is where it's going to be. It's going to be in the Hydro in Glasgow. And this does look really cool, man. This is like, if you go on Google searches, I think this is like the 4th image that comes up. This looks such a great venue. I think it only holds about 13,000, but it is such a unique looking space. I made the joke online that I think WWE are doing this so that they can fool Dave Meltzer into thinking this is the Tokyo Dome. And then that way they're guaranteed to get lots of star ratings. Right, it's a great way of getting lots of star ratings. So yeah, it's a beautiful looking space. And then this graphic started doing the rounds, and I think now it has actually been confirmed. So here we go. I mean, it's all come together now. This graphic, Clash at the Castle, Scotland, Hydro, Saturday, 15th of June, Glasgow. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And I'm shocked. I mean, I will be the first to admit I did not see this coming, because we've already got a premium live event in France. We've already got one in Germany. I thought we were done this year for a UK one, and now they've just gone and dropped one in Scotland randomly in June. I very much think you can thank Drew McIntyre for this. I think you can very much thank Drew McIntyre for this. But, you know, there is a healthy amount of UK talent on the card at the moment. I think NXT UK in particular has really kind of boosted the UK's presence. So, yeah, this is going to be a homecoming for a lot of that UK talent. Certainly the likes of Piper Niven, who is going to want to get on this card, and obviously Nikki Cross, and of course Drew McIntyre. So yeah, very, very exciting news. This is going to be massive. No news on tickets or anything. Let's get it announced, and as I said, I think it's out there now. But then, yeah, I'm sure ticket information will follow. Right, if we go down to this house show. Oh, this was cool. So, oh my God, loud. Right, there we go. Look at this. Look at this footage from Lisa. There's the Lena coming over. There's the Lena's boobs. And then here's the EST. Look at her, man. She's like proper ball of energy. And there's all these signs. And so Michin gets a sign. Zelina, she must have known that these were going to be the 3 stars. Unless she made signs for like all the women and she just got the ones that were relevant. But like, look at that. There's Michin. There's EST. There's Zelina. What I love about this footage, right? What I love about it is it really feels like you are this person. And it's like, imagine all these wrestlers are coming over all excited and you're giving them fan signs. And I don't know, it really puts you in that kind of... I feel like it's a bit like we're in VR. I feel like I'm that person. I love this clip. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So, love that. So, Lisa, shout out to her. Right, we got a few bits with Vince, and we're not going to actually look at the letter. I'm just going to let you know that it exists. So, Vince McMahon accuser Janel Grant wrote a love letter to him, but she claims that she was coerced. So, that means that she was sort of being advised to write it, made to write it. Maybe she didn't write this thing of her own free will, right? So Dave Meltzer said it's interesting that Vince is being represented by these people. In the Janel Grant case, they're the same team that repped MLW's 20 million settlement against WWE. So this is the legal team that represented MLW when they won that case and got 20 million from WWE. Vince must have been so impressed with them, he's brought them on board to represent him in this case against Janel Grant. So I think his lawyer that he always had, was it McDimmett? I think that was his name. I think he's retired now. So like Vince has had to find new lawyers. So it's quite interesting. So yeah, this letter, she was coerced, right? Brandon Thurston said the letter was obtained by WWE's board as part of their investigation. An attorney for the people representing Vince, a representative for Grant, said Vince's repeated request for letters were responded to by Grant with existing material from pop culture. I don't quite understand what that means. But apparently he asked for letters. He wanted letters from her. The letters allude to Mickey, Paul, the Chief, Brad, Nick, Johnny, there's no last names, and Vince's assistants as being aware of the relationship between the two, right? Johnny presumably refers to John Laurinaitis, a named defendant in the lawsuit. Last month, we reported that WWE President Nick Khan and COO Brad Bloom were among officers that were in Grant's complaint as being allegedly aware. So Brad and Nick, we think, are Nick Khan and Brad Bloom. We think Johnny is John Laurinaitis. We don't know who the other people are, right? Paul could be quite interesting, I suppose, as to these are the people that were aware of this relationship. But yeah, there's a letter, and basically in the letter, it's really long. She just talks about how magical it all is, how she can be difficult at times, and she's been hurt in the past, and you know, it's a very interesting read. So if you want to dig deeper into that, what I would say is it's out there. It's quite easy to find, and you will be able to read it. It's quite long as well, though. It is very, very long. So with that, we're just sort of keeping an eye on proceedings. There's no judgments or, you know, I haven't got really any hot takes on it or anything. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? It's all for the courts to decide, but it's just to let you know that there are developments. Okay, right, Cody. So obviously he got beat down, didn't he? Pretty bad. Dustin Rhodes said karma is a bad word, right? Hogan teasing that he might have to get involved, right? He's got his own American-made weight belt. He said he'll be at WWE Worlds, and he said that, you know that I'm rooting for Cody, and he's like, sends a bit of a warning to The Rock. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Hogan might be able to do something, but I'm not sure the crowds are going to be that interested, to be honest. I think this is Hogan just trying to get in on the act a little bit. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that watch this and sort of roll their eyes, but I don't know, it's kind of fun seeing Hogan trying to get in on it, and I just can't help but look at him and see that guy that main evented WrestleMania 1, main evented WrestleMania 2, main evented WrestleMania 3, was obviously against Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 4, and I think appeared at the very end of the show after Macho Man won. Main evented 5, main evented 6, main evented 7, main evented 8. Pretty much main evented 9 because he was in the last match, even though it was very short. You know, I just can't help but see that guy, man. I can't help but see that guy. So anyway, he's going to be at WWE Worlds on Sunday, April 7th. So he's going to be there. Right, Cody took 10 shots from that belt, right? Because this is quite interesting, because didn't MJF deliver 10 shots to Cody? And so people are like trying to find connections. Could that be an indicator that MJF is coming in? We have already spoke about this. We don't believe MJF is coming in. The word on the street is that he was backstage meeting officials, I think was it the day after Big Business. So, and the belief was last year that he had re-signed. So he's out with an injury at the moment. Oh, that's the belief. So not expecting him, but just thought this was interesting that people were making those connections. And Brandi said, oh, so now has got a black belt. Okay. I don't really get what she means by this. And we said this during the live stream because it was a blue belt. It was a blue Cody Rhodes American Nightmare belt. It wasn't a black belt. And black belt makes me think that, oh, so they're a master, you know, like a black belt. And I was like, what? I don't know what she's trying to say. This could be like a really clever comment that's just completely going over my head. Or she might have completely got the color of the belt wrong, right? It's one or the other, right? It's one or the other. And I can't quite decide what's going on. So I think what we can say is that Brandi said something. We can say that and we can leave it at that. So there we go. We did special. We didn't do Raw. Let's go down. These folders are full, man. So James, shout out to you. Triple H said, we're not even a full day into WrestleMania week and the WWE Universe is already smashing records. So the largest domestic gates in Monday Night Raw history. And remember, this show's been around for 31 years, right? They made the most amount of money this week from this week's Raw than any Raw in history. I mean, obviously, a lot of that is because ticket prices keep going up and up and they're not getting cheaper, right? So that's part of the reason. But, right, this is immediately after Raw. There's bad language, by the way.
3, 2, 1. Fuck them.
I do love that. I probably shouldn't love that as much as I did, but I did love that. I think there was a little applause as they went back through the curtain. I mean, that you didn't see. That was after Raw. That's them going back through into the gorilla position after absolutely brutally beating down on Cody and Seth. So yeah, it did make me laugh. Dijak saying, can I say or not? Just want to know where I stand. Yeah, so Dijak, not sure. Dijak said, after I win the North American Championship this Saturday at Stand and Deliver, I think we should find out. Ava, can you book this match? Or Dijak, greater than The Rock. So Dijak's interested in a match with the Great One, and he wants to know if The Rock's daughter can book that match or not. She didn't reply. I'm hoping she does, because I really want to know what she's going to say. I'd imagine it'll be like, just leave me alone. Something like that, you know? Right. Yeah, Brady, thank you. Look at Indi's face. She is low-key realizing Candice is right. Get ready. Yeah, is she? I couldn't quite tell. In the moment, I thought this was Indi looking and thinking, oh man, what's happening now? What is going to happen now? I don't know if she's thinking, oh my God, she's right. Or if she's thinking, oh my God, she's going to kill me when we get to the back. I couldn't quite figure out what the look was. So, and I've not seen any follow-up on this. Normally we get like a digital exclusive interview. Haven't seen one. I've seen one with Ricochet. I've seen one with Maxxine. I've seen one with Judgment Day, which was pretty fun because they all kind of turn on Jackie. And JD actually like pushes her out the clubhouse. He's like, go on, get out of here. And I think Jackie says something like, not JD pushing me. Of all the people to get pushed by, not JD McDonough. So yeah, I don't know what this look is, but I'm into this story. I'm into this story. Right. Oh, look at this. Cody after Raw went off air. Yep. 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 He wants his weight belt back. What he's saying is, you know that belt that The Rock's got? He didn't pay for that. He probably stole that from the merch stand. He wants it back. He wants that blue, or if you're Brandi Rhodes, black belt back. That's what he's asking for. I think it's that anyway. I'm not sure. But that was Cody after the beatdown. WWE Creative Humor said Bloodline Rules means the match doesn't end, apparently. We did speak about this on the live stream, how the match just didn't seem to end. Bloodline Rules is like no DQ, and it just should keep going, really. I mean, The Rock came down and, you know, the people were interfering. Cody came down, Roman came down, but there wasn't really a reason for the match to stop. So I still haven't seen what the official decision is. I still haven't seen what that is. So we'll have to have a little look at that. Because I went on the website not that long ago, about half an hour ago. The results still were not up. I think there's someone sat at like their headquarters just like not knowing what to type. Because they're like, I don't know. I don't know what the result was. I think the match is still going. Same with the Sammy and Bronson Reed match, because Sammy against Bronson Reed, what was that result? I don't know what that result was either. I don't know if there was an official announcement for that. Right, Crispy Wrestling said, is this Seth Rollins' 2014 heel turn reference? Yeah, Seth said, I've always got a plan B. Now, I think that plan B tonight was Cody, but obviously that was the line that Triple H said when the Shield broke up. He said there's always a plan B, and that's when Seth hit the chair, right? Smacked, I think it was Roman with the chair, and that was the line, and that's the same line that Seth said here. So again, is it a bit of foreshadowing a heel turn? There's always a plan B. Right, not sure. Michael said, I appreciate the concern. I'm good. All I'm going to say is if I'll take these risks on Raw, imagine what I'm going to do in that ladder match. So if you didn't see it, right, he goes through the ropes. Look at this. Look at that. Boom. He really goes hard in the air, seemingly head first into this corner of the commentary table. Look at that. I mean, that is not a great position, is it? Boop, boop. Certainly with your backside sticking up in the air. I mean, you know, come on, have some class. But yeah, he said, look, I'm fine, I'm good. So, good. Big Bronson Reed's in no doubt who won that match. He said, chalk that up as another dub. I don't know if Sammy won because he got beat up by Gunther, so he might have won by DQ, or did he take that long when he was out the ring that the ref counted him out? It might be that it is Bronson by count out, or it could be Sammy by DQ. I really don't know which way that's gone. Right, if we click on Rhea, she obviously got interviewed. She said she's impressed with Jade Cargill. She's amazing. I'll give her props. She's aesthetically pleasing and she looks amazing. Everything about her screams superstar. So when the time comes, I'd love to get into the ring with her. Rhea Ripley bought receipts. This is really interesting. Rhea Ripley said, I've been getting tagged so much in footage of Becky doing the stink face. What's really interesting is you might remember Becky going off saying that she doesn't like Rhea doing the stink face because she thinks that it's actually taken the women's division back to the old days. You know, they've fought hard to move away from that. Yeah, apparently there's quite a bit of footage of Becky doing it. And Rhea's like, I don't know why I'm the one that gets targeted. Maybe it's jealousy. So it's quite an interesting moment. Then we got the brawl. I wasn't a fan of this. I said that on the live stream. I think yesterday was such an incredible day for just honestly getting what felt like realism. You know, you think about the end of Raw with there ain't nothing fake about those strap strikes, you know. I mean, they are going to have left marks. You know, the way that he was brutally beating Cody and Seth. And there was nothing fake about the emotion in that Bray Wyatt documentary. And there was nothing fake about CM Punk's comments on Ariel Helwani, right? So I really felt like yesterday there was just so much realism around to see this fight, right? Which was so obviously staged. Really, yesterday in particular felt out of place to me. But she did come on and they did brawl, and this is, I mean, look, you can see it ain't taking much to sort of hold her back, you know. And literally no one's holding Rhea back as well either. I mean, don't forget, these are wrestlers that can get past, is it about 20 or 30 security guards? We got one dude that ain't really doing it. I mean, she must be the strongest woman in the world. She must literally be like Wonder Woman. This must be what Wonder Woman does on her off time. She works for the MMA Hour. So, thanks for giving me a target. I am coming for your arm. Becky Lynch confronts Rhea Ripley on the set of the MMA Hour. CM Punk loved that Bret Hart doll. Mommy has got some issues with her wrist. It's a removable cast. So we spoke about that. Right, CM Punk, I'm going to leave because there's so much. I feel like that folder might be the biggest folder we've ever seen. So I'm going to see what time is left. Tonight, we put the world on notice. And they did. Roman Reigns first said head of the table 10 years ago. Apparently he said it on Main Event. I don't know if this has come from his documentary, because to be honest with you, I've still not watched it all. I've seen lots of clips and I've heard lots of highlights and I've seen lots of quotes, but actually sitting down and watching it, I mean, I watched the CM Punk, I watched the 3-hour Raw. I did 2 hours streaming before that. I watched the 2-hour Bray Wyatt documentary. I watched the over 2-hour CM Punk interview. Then I compiled all the stuff for Unseen. I did the video for the Bray Wyatt thing, so trying to fit in a Roman Reigns documentary as well. It just wasn't happening. But apparently he mentions it here 10 years ago on Main Event. What's he doing on Main Event? When did Roman Reigns go on Main Event? So I don't know what this is. It's a glitch, but interesting. Right, Roman Reigns suggests WrestleMania 40 could spell retirement now. I keep getting told he didn't say this, right? And again, because I've not had a chance to check, I've got to go off what is being reported. And what is being spread around is that he said, let's have a look at this actually, what he said exactly. Let's look exactly at what was said so that we don't say anything that he didn't, well, that isn't being reported. Let's put it that way, right? So you guys, this is what they're claiming he said, but people in the live stream said he didn't. You guys better cherish these moments, because once I lose the WWE Undisputed Championship, I'm calling it quits. So there we go. That is what they are quoting him as saying. And this person here has written it out as well. No way. So they're saying that was from his A&E documentary. So again, people are telling me that that's not quite what was said, but it is being reported. Like, everyone's running with that story. It's everywhere. So I'll give it a watch, and if he doesn't say it, I'll update you tomorrow, right? Chris, shout out to you, said, so happy to see The Rock bring back this cow vest from the Raw after he won the title back in the 2000s. So he's got it on there. He's got it on here. Nice little callback to the 2000s. Lovely. You can see The Rock acknowledging Roman. Right. So on the live stream, it was mentioned that The Rock didn't acknowledge Roman. Now, again, I don't know at what point that is meant to have happened. I haven't seen anyone mention it, right? Going through the thousands of tweets that I've looked at. But if we look at this footage, right? If we look at this footage, you can see The Rock in the background. And as we skip forwards, he does have his hand down, but then he does start to raise it, right? And actually there you can see it, that it's raised. Can't quite see what he is holding up, though. Is it the L? Is it the 1? don't know, but I would say that looks to me like he is acknowledging. So that it looks like The Rock has acknowledged there. You can see The Rock putting the one up in the back with Roman, and he did it right. So Nav must have a sharper image than this. Says that he did do it correctly. So there we go. Obviously, there's lots of theories and thoughts and speculation. So if we can kind of get some clarity on things, then we'll try and do that. So it looks like The Rock did acknowledge. Right, breaking news. Roman Reigns will induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame. That obviously was announced on Raw. You wanted Roman to beat Hogan's records. Well, there it is. He's now got the most main events at WrestleMania. So there we go. He might not beat the records for how long he holds the title. He could, but he might not. And but at least he's going to beat the record for most WrestleMania main events. That's a pretty big one. I thought this was interesting. Let's whoosh it. I didn't want to break up the Shield. And I damn sure didn't want to be a good guy. That's exactly what was happening. I was so young on the rise. It's not like I had a nest egg built up. It's not like I had a whole bunch of options that I can just say, no, I'm not feeling this. This doesn't feel good to me, or I wouldn't say this. It was so hard to do that when you don't have that backup, when you don't have that FU money, and you can't just stand on your art, and your family is depending on you. Your livelihood is depending on you. You have to just be a good soldier and do what you're told. So those are the comments of Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns saying a few words, and let's come back off here. Right, so that was Roman. Let's go into our next folder, which is going to be the Bray folder, and I think we've got quite a bit to go through here. Not loads, though, because we did do a separate video. So here we've got in the Bray Wyatt documentary, they reveal that Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice were his favourite films as a kid. He knew the lines word for word, and we've got some pictures, him dressed up there as a Ghostbuster, him dressed up in that Beetlejuice costume. Down here, we've got Brodie Lee. He was one of the first people that Bray Wyatt went to following his WWE title win. So lovely image here of these two backstage. And as soon as he comes through, Brodie Lee is right there. Luke Harper right there. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Lovely, lovely. I mean, this whole documentary is just so emotional. It's got like the family. It's got friends. It's just, oh God. I said before, when you finish watching this documentary, the thing you're left with isn't the Uncle Howdy thing at the end. What you're left with is just the impact that Bray had on his family and his friends and the world, his fans. I mean, that it feels like anything else is secondary. You know, his family, and you can't help but watch it and understand why he's not going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, his family are in absolute bits. His family are just, there's so many tears. There's so much heartache. You could understand someone looking at that footage and going, we can't put him in right now. It looks and feels like it's just way too raw. Way too raw. So you can understand going, give it a year. Honestly, it's an incredible documentary. A lot of people saying it's the best one they've seen. And it's funny because it doesn't give you loads of answers. You know, I think we've always wanted that documentary that kind of pulls the curtain back, and this definitely does that. But it doesn't, like, really explain a load of stuff, you know? I kind of thought that the way it was done was excellent. But they don't spend loads of time on, like, really any one thing, like, say, the Fun House, or when they're talking about The Fiend, or there's a few bits that are given away. But if you're going into it looking for that, I don't think that's what it's there for. I think it's there to maybe show you a bit more of the man and the impact he had on the world. Undertaker said he faced Bray at a time where his own confidence was slipping away. Taker said that Bray restored not only The Undertaker with their WrestleMania match, but he also restored Mark Calloway. a Bo return teased at the end. So this is after the credits, right? We get this where we've got this graphic, and then you get like all this, and then you get this lantern, and you zoom in, and then the light comes on, right? And as you zoom in, there's the light. You hear run, right? As you zoom in, and then boom, that arrives, which looks like it's Uncle Howdy. Right? It's really not there for, I mean, you can see how much is left. It's not there for long. And that is it. That is the end of the documentary. So if you haven't seen it, like, it's funny because I would say that's like the big OMG moment, but it really is not what I took from it. That is exciting, right? Exciting, but it ain't what I took away from this documentary. Jason Baker said that Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail was imaginary. The other thing that was said as well, according to Bruce Pritchard, was that the funhouse was in Bray's mind, right? I mean, I do have a few questions about that, because do you remember when Adam Pearce dressed as a postman and then delivered the contract to Bray and he was in the funhouse? Or do you remember when, like, Randy burnt it down, and I think didn't even Seth burn one down? So if it was in his mind, I've got a few questions, but I mean, without going back through everything, and do you know what I mean? Without kind of, it's one of those where if you pick it apart, it might not quite marry up or whatever. But to actually hear someone say for 100% this is, there was a theory at the time, I remember back in 2019, that it might have been in a insane asylum, because there was lots of quick images of like insane asylums. And also around that time, you might not know, but the way this all started, the Firefly Fun House, was in about the December, right, of 2018. There was text messages which seemingly were being put on Bray's Twitter. And it was like, I don't know if they were text, but it was like, patient is not responding to, and it was all this like doctor saying stuff like, patient is not responding to treatment. We're going to have to move to level, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day it'd be like, patient seems stable, blah, blah, blah. And it was all like this doctor writing stuff. I think you could probably find the old messages from like 2018. And then we waited a few months. I think that was like December. And then we got our first like glimpse of some toy in like the March. And then I think April is when we get the first Fun House. So there was thoughts that, you know, was that doctor from an insane asylum? Was the fun house in an insane asylum? So we did sort of get an answer as to where that was, which I thought was very interesting. And apparently Sister Abigail was imaginary. Apparently the fun house was in his mind. You got to watch it, man. There's lots of little bits like that. Lots of little bits. Here, look, we've got Alexa Bliss saying she got cold chills. Look at this. Pretty extreme, man. She might need to see a doctor. She looks like a cactus. Seeing the lantern light up again. Braun Strowman says, God, I miss you. It's Bryn again. Thank you. Jordan, thank you. Great little behind the scenes. It's only like a minute long, and it's on YouTube. A minute and something. It's very, very short. It's just some of the kind of outtakes from the swamp match. It's like where they're kind of fighting in the swamp, and like their leg will get a bit stuck and they start laughing and whatever. It's just a lovely little few outtakes, really. It's not much to it, but again, this video is very much just know this is there, yeah? Absolutely mind-blowing and incredible. Yeah, look at that lantern. Amazing. I think that might be the one with the animatronic eyes. There was a new lantern that was coming and you could move the eyes. Very cool. There's Alexa watching it. And yeah, here, Big Boy Rushi said, watched Unseen, and I thought the same thing about the Fiend mask and Triple H. I'm wondering if it's because of the school mask and crown that he wore at Mania 30. And I said, that's an excellent shout. It's an excellent shout because even if it's not that, it might be that they took his sort of mold of his face for some other reason. It might not be Bray related. It might be for a crown, or it might be for like a headpiece, or so it might have been Triple H, but it also might not have been Bray connected. I've got another few things here. So there's the eyes. These are animatronic eyes for this. Look at the teeth as well. Amazing. Amazing. That was a picture that Bray did after he got like fired, and he really turned to art, and they keep showing this because it does feel very Uncle Howdy. So they did like show that a couple of times actually. These are some of the concept drawings, and you don't see these very long, but look at that. Concept drawings for the puppets. Rambling Rabbit. We got Huskus. We got Abby. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. More concept drawings, I think, for the lantern. And concept drawing for the mask. So you can see a few other little bits on the table. So we looked at some other things which were very interesting, but I didn't include them here because they were already in the Bray video that's already on the channel. So if you really want to dig into the Bray stuff more and you haven't seen that video that went on the channel earlier, I would say check that out because there really are some good Easter eggs in that one that get explained. This is just us mopping things up, really. That's what this is. So that was the Bray folder. Right, merch. New Bianca Belair shirts. And we've got new Cody shirt. It's Bryn again. Thank you. Finished the story. Some new Bray Wyatt. Look at that. The documentary and a few. I don't know if these are old or if they're all. I think they're all new, actually. I think that is even the new Fiend has now got a shirt as well. The Fiend that we never saw. So, yeah, new designs, new shirts for Bray Wyatt available now. And there it is. Edward, thank you. Yeah, the new Fiend with the lantern, the kind of more exposed mouth as well. So that is what was coming that we never got to see. I wonder if this was a shirt design that was coming as well, or if they've just recently put this together. Not sure, but some new merch. Don't forget, if you go to Euroshop, you can use the code DAYS15 and you should save 15%. You can get to WWE Shop and Euroshop in the links below. Right, let's go to fun. Let's go to fun. We might have to skip CM Punk. I'm not sure. Oh my God. Right. So here we've got Shayna Baszler saying if Cody gets to finish his story, I should get to finish mine. She really wants to get stink-faced by Rhea Ripley. So Mark, shout out to you. This was fun. Dervin, thank you. So this is these two watching their WrestleMania match back, and they just have a bit of a heart-to-heart about how they didn't like each other. Randy said, I think hate is a bit extreme. We didn't hate, or I didn't hate you, but he said I was talking to Arn and I was like going off like F-Punk. And then you walked round the corner and you was like, hey, MFer, say it to my face. And I was like, oh man, I wasn't expecting him to walk round the corner as I was burying him. And actually when Punk hears that, he bursts out laughing and he gives him a big hug. So yeah, this is really fun moment. I think this is on their YouTube channel, so not only do you get to see that moment, you get to see them talking about their match. Shakeem, shout out to you. I do like these and I've never seen these, but look at these. When guests are coming over for dinner and she tells you to get out the good stuff. Look at this. That's the good stuff. Right, Martel, thank you. So Isla Dawn was harassing Nick Aldis the other day, and she said, don't worry, I could come round. And Mickie James responded, because obviously that's Nick Aldis's wife. She said, I wish you would stop by, Isla. That would be so very fun. I mean, I don't know if that's a real invitation or I don't know what's happening there. But she's like, I hope you do come round. If I was Isla, I'd be a bit freaked out by that. Shakeem, thank you. This was cool. Funky Punk with this, look, the Power Buff Girls. So we've got Jade, we got Bianca, we got Naomi. I thought you'd like that. Very good. Right, Solo Sikoa is going to be the busiest man this weekend, said Mukarram. So Tyler Football. So yeah, is Solo going to get involved in the brother versus brother match? Is Solo going to get involved in the Seth and Drew match? Is Solo going to get involved in the tag match? Is Solo going to get involved in the main event of night 2? Because it is true, Solo doesn't have a match. So is he going to pop up in all of these matches? You could see it, couldn't you? Drew said, I have my own emoji. Drew McIntyre, and there it is. So does CM Punk. Clown face, poop emoji. Very good. Eric, shout out to you. Right, a personal message to the Swole Army. I don't know who Joey Swole is, but do you remember that footage of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the gym? And they start berating this guy in the gym. Well, this Joey Swole, who seems to have like 700,000 followers and is swole, he's like, anyone can get it, even WWE wrestlers. And so he kind of calls out these two because of that footage. And so he goes off on Joey Swole's fans. He's like, man, I've dealt with some stupid fan bases, you know, like wrestling fans are really cringe. Swifties are probably the worst, but I don't think I've met any more disgusting, out of shape fans than the Joey Swole fans. And he just goes off on the Joey Swole fans. And he says, like, we're not hard to find. This really feels like Joey Swole, whoever Joey Swole is. I would not be surprised if he makes an appearance on SmackDown or at WrestleMania, or I wouldn't be surprised. This really feels like we're planting seeds for like him coming in. So if he's any sort of big star, then you might be seeing him. I mean, it is WrestleMania season, so we'll have to see if this actually leads anywhere. So Eric, thank you. Right, look at all this, all the achievements. 14-time world champ, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 4-time tag team champ, 1-time US champ, 1-time intercontinental champ, blah 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 blah. Right, so much stuff for Randy. And Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly said also 1-time loser to Pretty Deadly. Here was that footage. Look, here's Joey Swole. Anyone can get it, even a WWE superstar. Look at this. Jay Uso said custom controllers. Man, send my remote. So he must have ordered a custom remote from these guys and it's not come through. And Jay's had enough, man. 11 hours ago, Jay was done waiting. So at custom controllers, send my remote. Watson, shout out to you. So yeah, look at this. So Stone Cold said he was doing a bit of work. He heard like someone had arrived at his property. And then when he went out to his truck, someone had left him these beers. Look at these beers in ice and some eggs and all of this stuff. I can't tell if he's doing this to promote his own beers because those are his beers. I think they're all his beers, actually. So I can't tell if someone has actually left them. And do you know what? I saw someone say, what if it was Cody? I mean, I really don't think it's Cody. I don't think he's got the time. I don't think he's going to drop off a little basket of beers to try and hope that Stone Cold's going to help him finish his story. I would love that, though. Imagine if Stone Cold helps him just because Cody got a little pink basket, put some of Stone Cold's own beers in, which I'm sure he's got plenty of, and left them on the back of his truck, and now Stone Cold's going to help him finish the story. God, I hope that's what happens. So, Derez fan, thank you for the remote one. I appreciate it. Edward said, what a creep. He should have shouted, want to get that damn phone out my face. How close do you need to be? Look at this dude with his phone. Man, he should have been here. He should have been right here. It should have been there. It is true. How close do you need to be? You've got a zoom as well. Sure, your camera comes with your phone comes with a zoom. Right, yes. This caught a few people. Look at this.
2 titres contre 5 équipes à Wrestlemania.
Apparently, that was shown on the show, and it was all in French, right? And everyone was like, huh, what's going on in America? Right? They were like, where's my controls? Why is it in French? It was to advertise the Olympics. It was an advert to advertise the fact that this summer in Paris, it's going to be the Olympics. How clever is that? And annoying. It's brilliant, isn't it? That is brilliant. A load of people going, why is it in French? Because the Olympics are going to be in France this year. Oh, I love it. Love it. Right, here's a moron if he doesn't call it rest in peace. Undertaker is opening a bed and breakfast. He's a moron if he doesn't call it rest in peace. Love that. Right, Kenta said CM Punk on Kenta. I have to pay royalties to him. He is the real best in the world. So that came from the official Kenta account as well. So cheeky little message. And look at that, Asuka. She loves these memes. It's just that you don't even need to explain that. It's just brilliant. It does what it needs to do. I don't know if you saw, but backstage at Raw, Angel Garza went to put his hand out to Rhea, and she was like, "Get away from me." Right? And Angel Garza here is like, "Hey, Rhea." And like, there's the two hands touching. And she responds in, like, I think this might be Spanish, not sure. But she says, I translated it, I think it's like, "Be quiet." That's what it translates as, "Be quiet." Seth Rollins literally got his ass whipped. This was Damian Priest backstage. Fast asleep. Where was he? Actually, where was he? When your dad buys you and your brother a replica and you can only share it. Love that. There's the replica. And then the other person has to just use this instead. Just pretend. We can only afford one. So there's the replica. You just hold that and, you know, you'll get it tomorrow. So I thought that was great. Roman tripped over the announce table thing. So this was on Raw. Boop. Down he goes. See it again. Boop. Down he goes. Apparently he slipped on the commentary table. Top bit there. Lol. Throwback to when Kane arrived to Raw in a Nike tracksuit. Let's go, man. Look at that. Oh, this is great.
Keep it moving.
Look at this backstage. Jimmy and Jay, right? Walking in. There they are. Look at Jay. He can't keep a straight face. Look at him. Look. Jimmy does well to keep a straight face, but there's no way Jimmy... Look at him. Look at him. Can't keep a straight face, man. Dude. Jay absolutely couldn't stay serious. Hang 'em high. Brilliant. Oh, I love this as well. Dijak said, I just want to give a shout out to Booker and Vic Joseph, and then he really puts them over. It's a really lovely message. And Vic Joseph's like, wait, is this sincere or is it an April Fool's? And I don't think he responded to me. So Vic Joseph still doesn't know. Is he being sincere or was he just making it all up? I love that. It's really messed with his heads. Gotta respect that. Triple H made some comments on the 18 to 49 demo TV rating increase across Raw and SmackDown. He just like goes, it's a credit to the work of the team and all of that. But yeah, some really great numbers coming out of WWE at the moment. We have to call audibles every week depending on reactions. So Triple H making out that they really are listening to the crowd. Here's Julius Creed. He said this is his ride or die. I don't know when he got married. I don't know if it's been like 14 hours ago. It seems a bit random to post this if he didn't get married today, unless it's an anniversary. Might be an anniversary. But I thought I would post this. That's Julius Creed with his wife. And I don't know when they got married, but I can tell you all the replies are congratulations, congratulations. Alan Cheapshot again said Jerry Lawler's goatee in the 80s was intentionally shaved to look like a crown. I never knew that. Apparently that was done like that to look like a crown. How amazing. I think it looks like Batman. Right, Wrestling World CC, Triple H would love to see WWE superstars landing big signature brand deals, just like Travis Scott did with his Nike deal. This is great from Bayley. She's just showing the work that she's doing, getting ready, like going through, she's getting acupuncture, she's like training, getting ready, like taking ice baths and just doing the work as she gets ready for her first WrestleMania singles match. So Mania Week Part 1. So if you want to watch that, that is on her social media channels. Putting in that work, man. Jose the assistant, yes, lots of AEW people were let go, sadly, and Jose the assistant, he was one of them, and a timer there. And this said, so what do you want to talk about? So it seems like he's going to do some talking as soon as he is able to. So people might want to keep an eye on that. So Eric, thank you. That is Randy Orton's son, and he started training, and he's looking pretty good as well. So Randy Orton's son training, and Harry said this would be a 4th generation, if I'm correct. Love this. Lorelei, Jennifer, we showed it during the stream. Friends of the channel, and getting to meet Becky. Some wonderful pictures. She wore this shirt as well. Brilliant. Brilliant. Right, these are the names of people that got released, so we'll whoosh it in. I can see we're running out of time. Anything we don't get to, we will carry over to tomorrow. This is just the other folder. So, the boys, Dasher, Jose the Assistant, Jora Joel, Anthony Henry, Gravity, Stu Grayson, Parker Boudreaux, and Slim J. They are the ones. Those are the names. We think that's everyone that got released. That's everyone that got released. What? How much more have we got? Oh, we've got a fair bit, but we're out of time. We'll carry it to tomorrow.